Okay, so running heat, region 1 DVD. I have this movie on NTSC AC3 Laserdisc. Region 2 DVD, which more or less has the same artwork. And the dreadful Director's Blu-ray edition, which I certainly do not play anymore because this is what I saw. This is what I heard in the cinema. In Dolby SR, that was, on a JBL 4675A 5 screen. I like that Foley there. The footstep on that Foley there. It's almost pretty close. I can get a little bit more if I wanted to, but you know, the reverberation time and all that, the size of the auditorium. So, I mean, my auditorium is a room size tiny. It's only a 6-seat cinema, 6-seat THX cinema. It's not a 400-seat, 450-seat, you know. But I saw this movie so many times. I think 3 times in Dolby SR. And yeah, the opening is pretty cool. I mean, most of what you hear, if downmixed or have the 424 matrix, it'd be a bit similar to the 6-track mix here. Oh, what's my cat bear up to? Oh, I'll have to get him. It's got a bit of nice rumble there in the Foley and the, you know, typical Foley. It's got a nice bit of, you know, on the top end, on the JBL compression horns. It's got a nice tone, clarity, gritty sort of quality. Not too harsh, not too toppy. Some parts of the mix there gets a little bit toppy on some of the you know, the shootouts and such. I might put an additional audio limiter on that, but that would only clamp down on the whole full range, because I'm using the THX now, totally different to how I was using it before. So the THX now run here and here, they run full range, and then it passes over to the THX sound system because that's got a better quality sound on the crossover network, whereas DSP usually has a couple of artifacts like particularly when it gets up in high frequencies. It's, you know, those that know, and then notice this kind of sounds like a radio tuning dial being adjusted, and you get that squeaky high, kind of like, that's not right. That's just because it's all digital, you know. So signal chain. So signaling, processing mode down from up here and then through here, very complex, and then where's it then go to? Where's it then channel down to the DEQ, and then up to the DCX, and then over to the THX sound system. So at the moment I'm programming in some dynamic range audio, EQ compressor, DEQ, dynamic range. Was it dynamic range EQ? You know. Anyway, where it kind of, it's got a nice threshold setting, so it can go from -60 dB, which is pretty quiet, and up to 0, and then up to with gain settings, plus and minus, I think it's 15, or was it 12 dB? Minus 15 and plus 15 dB settings. Camera doesn't focus very well on here because of the it's not a proper professional camera like a DSLR camera. And then from there up to here, and then I could do a little bit more alignment, as well as using the go to the PEQ. I use the PEQs for the 5 screen, so they adjust the, get the tonality as close, because every frequency band is, the frequency that's overall makes up the overall, and have to all be aligned. There's not still enough, but there's more than enough to tackle most. And then I can boost levels up a little bit here if I want to. Over to the THX, I could take down some of the gain level on the THX sound system. I could take either the HF horn levels down on the THX, and align it so you get that like THX, with the bass, you know what I mean? And transparency with the sparkle and clarity with the HFs moving around and then into the surrounds, of course, with the bass in the surrounds as well. And of course, sound goes from over here, and then goes down to here. So it goes from there and down to here, and then from there up to here, and then from there down to here, to here, to the THX, as well as going from here down to here, and then up to here, or there, and then to there. That does the overall finalisation on the sub bass. I could put the other channel in so I can do that for the other TCB behind the screen and behind at the back of the room, and the bear's up to something. Yeah, bear's been his usual self lately. Oh, I think there's a cat fight going on. So does the finalising. I've got some more of the FBQs down there. I was using the FBQs to do the HS horns, but seeing there was too much signal noise ratio, partly coming from the Sony and then going down into the DCX, and then the HF output on the DCX then going into the, but it's probably the way I had it connected. If I'd connected it another way around, differently, I'd have probably reduced signal noise ratio, but it was too much, and I had to minimize and do quite a lot of and I think also partly because pushing it too much, the bounds too much, I think the FBQ was also generating that strange digital squeaky sound when it gets up to the very high frequencies, because it's supposed to generate, if using a tone on the RAM or what, it should generate a pure sine wave tone, digital tone. It should be a, if I was 14 years old, whatever, I should I should hear I guess a sine wave tone without necessarily being played too much, amplified that is. But now as hearing range goes up. We need to have it up here for the lows and then go down and then wiggle a little bit and then goes upward. Fletcher-Manson curve. So got to compensate and things because generally we would only hear high frequency sounds averagely up to about 8 kilohertz. I could expand more, but there's a heck of a lot more that I've not even mentioned, because like I say, there is a lot more to it than most people think.